Didn't the Avengers just have a movie, or Black Panther was in that movie? Now it's in another movie. Explain this to me. I need a map here.
I understand how it can be very confusing. Black Panther came out earlier this year, made a whole ton of money. There was Captain America Civil War a little bit ago that had basically all the Avengers in it, but was not an Avengers movie. This is the culmination of 10 years of Marvel filmmaking. 18 movies or so have basically been leading up to this. There have been little drips and drabs of where their story was going, and this character Thanos and trying to get the Infinity Stone so he can basically destroy the universe. And so this is the end of that 10 years of this phase of Marvel movies, which will kind of, after this, change things and move things in a different direction. Not to say that the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Black Panthers and everybody won't be around still, but things are going to move in a different direction after this and the next film, which is part 2 of Infinity War, which comes out next year.
All right.
Make sense?
All right. Now I know the lay of the land. How good was the movie?
It's fantastic. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie of all the 18 films. It has every character that you've seen over the past 10 years, pretty much, except for, and I won't spoil, but there's 2 that are not in it. But it's got pretty much everybody else, and it's really super funny, as all the Marvel movies are. And has these great team-ups between characters that you haven't seen together before, like Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy people. And in a movie that's so packed with superheroes, more than 20 of them, it doesn't feel like it's bloated or overstuffed. It gives everybody a good amount of time to shine. And the story is actually really good. It's not super confusing as some of these can get. It's pretty straightforward. And there's a lot of emotion here. Things change. Like I said, it's very, very funny. And it's so good, I might actually go to the theater to see it again.
Wow. So they've got 20 superheroes in this, and they leave you with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's
kind
pretty wrapped up. There is a second part, like I said, that's coming out next year. This movie, it doesn't finish everything, but it kind of, at the end of it, you're like, okay, I have some sense of resolution, but I also see where we're going to go for next year. So it's not like it's, you're going to have to wait a year and you're sitting on the edge of your seat. A lot happens here that you're going to need to digest, especially if you're a super fan. If you're a super fan, this is going to rock your world. If you're just a casual fan like I am, it's just an enjoyable popcorn movie that you go in the theater and everybody's cheering and having a lot of fun, and that's fun to see.
All right. Have you wrapped your head around the fact that Bill Cosby might die in prison?
That's one of those things that was the toughest thing for me to wrap my head around yesterday. And I think there's a lot of people, especially who, if you grew up in the 80s and you watched the show and you've had 75 years of Cosby entertaining you.
Right.
And then the last 5 years have just been terrible. So on the one hand, what he did was awful, and he's horrible, and he's a monster. But a lot of people, I think, are trying to reconcile that with the guy that they thought that they knew, and the fact that he's going to die in prison, or that's very possible. It's a sad ending to what was a great career, but he deserves for that to happen to him for what he did.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like any of his friends are standing by him at this time.
No, there's been no shows of support. If you go on Twitter, you can find some people supporting him. Nobody who's verified, nobody with a check mark next to their name.
Right.
But there are people on Twitter who are supporting him, and people who supported him during the trial. Some of the Cosby Show people did support him. His wife was there in court with him for the last day. So there is some support there, but overwhelmingly, 99% of people are anti-Cosby.
And you could actually make the argument that obscure comedian from a couple of years ago, right, who sort of called
Hannibal
out
Buress.
Bill Cosby, led to this trial now.
It was Hannibal Buress who got the ball rolling. It's weird how things happen. Because if it wasn't Hannibal Buress, with all the Me Too stuff last year, it would have happened again, I would imagine. All the stuff would have come out again. But this was all stuff we knew about Cosby, and these claims that were made that were out there in the public for years. And for whatever reason, nobody, he went through some stuff, he settled some stuff, and nobody seemed to really care that much
Right.
until Hannibal Buress brought it up again and brought it back into the light, and everybody started. And it's really Twitter as well, because Hannibal Buress did his thing, and that got out there in social media, and everybody responded, and a wave of stuff goes like it does these days. And people were able to express themselves and come down on it.
Yeah, really interesting. Jason Nathanson, thanks for checking in. Have a good week.
Sure, you too.